शेयर करो। एक सेकंड मैम।
कब कहाँ का मोबाइल है? कौन सा मोबाइल है?
मेरा भी खत्म हो गया था, मैं दोबारा ना
काम करिए ना। खाना खा के नहीं खाती। नहीं बता हमको।
म्यूट कर दो बेटा, सभी को म्यूट करो। We all have gathered here to learn something to improve our teaching and develop skills and awareness among the children about nature and the natural resources. Because my topic, today's topic is water management. Sound is coming. See that today's topic is grey water management. So I'm just saying my slide. Jal Jeevan, a drop of water is worth more a sack of gold for a thirsty man. That means, as I know how the water is important for us, so I will discuss today about nature and the natural resources. As we know that the natural resources must be conserved and protected by developing awareness among the children and educating them about its importance for living beings. Just see the picture. One drop of water is worth more than a sack of gold for a thirsty people. Due to lack of water, the birds are in most troublesome, and today's non-availability of the water is causing the birds to die. Today, wild animals living in the forest are coming towards the human settlements and in search of water. And today's the sources of drinking water are drying up, and the rain has reduced. Due to the water bodies, rivers and the ponds have dried up. Actually, as we know that water is a precious substance or the materials on our planet. That's why our planet is known as the very unique planet. Water has become a highly necessary part of the human beings existing on our planet. Inspire the students that as air is important for the survival of the living beings, in the same way, water is also very important natural resource for the survival of the life. Whether it is human beings or animals or plants, we can't imagine our life without water. But water is precious for us, very precious material, as the oxygen is very necessary gas for the survival of the living beings on our planet. In the same way, water is also very important substance for the survival of the living beings on our planet. We can't imagine our life without water as well as without air. This is our duty. This is the duty of everybody on our planet to conserve and protect and restore water. My next slide is water on earth. Water on earth. As we know that, because my topic is the grey water management, so we have to understand the importance of water and availability of the water, or what type of water is present on our planet. as we all know very well, but we have to inspire the students, educate the students, and develop knowledge to the students, and develop awareness of the students to manage such precious material that are present on our planet, because this is very precious substance. So we have to educate our children, educate our youth, educate our students about the importance, about the function of the water. Just see my slide. I'm just showing this slide. Salt water, how much salt water is only present on our planet, that is 97%, and the polar ice caps 2%, and the available fresh water only 1%, that we are using in our life daily by daily. Fresh water is only 1% that are readily available. We can't take water from the polar ice caps, and we can't use the salt water. So we have to inspire the students to use the water judiciously, because the fresh water is available on our planet in a very limited amount, limited quantity. On our earth, the 3/4 of the surface of the earth is covered with water. That means 97% our earth is covered with saline water, salty water. Only 3% of fresh water available on our planet, and out of 3%, 2% are present in the polar ice caps that are not readily available for the people, for the use of the human beings. Only the 1% water is present for the human being, and not only 1% is readily available. Out of 1%, 0.7% of total water are groundwater that are fetching by using some machines and the pumps vagara. And out of 1%, only 0.3% water are readily available in the river, lakes, ponds, lake, and the streams that are readily available there, that we use in our life daily by daily. Actually, it is estimated that there will be no water by 2040 if we keep doing today, unless water use is drastically reduced. If we are just doing practice in such way as we are just doing today, if we just continue such activity like today, we will face a severe problem of the scarcity of the water. Severe water shortage will affect the entire world by 2040. As we know that because of the limited quantity of the fresh water available on our planet, so we can face, if we are doing just using water carelessly, so we will face the scarcity of the water in the world by 2040. If we keep doing what we are doing today, so we have to inspire everybody to use water judiciously, carefully. Don't waste water, because today's topic on the basis of gray water management. So we have to know the importance and availability of the water. Next. This is the, just see the, yes, importance of water in our life. Importance of water in our life. As we know that water is a precious material on our planet. That's why the planet is a unique planet. I have just also water has become a highly necessary part of the human beings existing on the earth. So we should develop awareness among the children about its value and the importance. We can't imagine our life without water. So we have to develop awareness and make them understand to use water judiciously, because awareness among the children can protect and conserve our nature and the natural resources, because children are our future. If we educate the children today, that means they can save water for tomorrow, save everything, save our natural resources for tomorrow, isn't it? Now, the children can protect and conserve our nature and the natural resources. Tell them to think your daily routine, just whenever we are just entering into the class and whenever we are teaching about the different chapters. So first of all, we all have teachers give them a moral speech. That's during moral speech, someday or few days, we have to inculcate, or we have to inspire, or we have to develop awareness, or speak them to importance of the water. Okay, you just tell them, the students, to You think about your daily routine and think, how can you conserve water? You just think from the early morning when you get up from the bed, you go for the toilet, using the water, brushing, taking bath, and you are using lots of water, and that water is going to be wastage. And one day in the future, you will face same scarcity of the water. In absence of the water, you will face a drastic problem. So avoid using. So we have to inculcate, we have to understand, we have to inspire the student to use the water judiciously. Avoid using shower, better to use bucket and the mug for bathing. Don't take bath using shower. Do not let the tap open during the brushing. Brushing teeth, and do not wash your vehicles with fresh water or tap water, because fresh water is available in very limited quantity. We have to just inspire the children. That's why in this way we can conserve water. You know, don't let to go into the drain. Do not let the fresh water into the drain. Use such water for watering plants. Whenever we are just using water for bathing and the cooking, that wastewater must be used in the plant. Do not get it wasted into the drains or the let it stagnate anywhere. My next slide is water in the human body. Water in the human body. Just see the picture. I'm just having a picture. Just see the picture. See the picture. 70% of the human body is water. Everybody is knowing. We all have knowing. Just see the pictures also. Our body having 70% of water. Near what, according to the H. Mitchell, the Journal of the Biological Chemistry, just explain that the human heart and the brain are composed of average 77% of water, isn't it? H. Mitchell have discussed or the composed that the human heart and the brain are composed of about 77% of water. Just see the picture. The human heart just showing 79% and brain 75%, and our liver and skin composed of nearly 68 or 64. That means 66% of water, and our blood having 83% of water, bones nearly having average 22% of water, our muscles, our lungs, muscles having 77% of water. We have to inculcate our children to our body having 77% of water. And what about our organs? Our organs also having different percentage of water. Children should know about the importance of water, for the human body. Then they will understand and they will conserve water, how the water play very important role in the human body. The body uses water to transport nutrients and oxygen throughout the body. As we know, as we just discussed with the children, as we teach the children, it also lubricate and cushions the joints, protect organs and the tissues, remove waste and regulate body temperature, and also help in digestion. So water play very important role in the composition of the body. Different activities performed by the water. Water also refresh our body. Water also eliminate the toxic material from our body. So we have to discuss with the children about the importance of the importance of the water. Thus we can conserve water by educating people. Will there be no water in the future? Will there be no water in the future? We can imagine. Will there be no water in the future? That means clean, fresh water is an essential ingredient for a healthy human body. But 1.1 billion of people lack access of water, and 2.7 billion of experience water scarcity at least 1 month a year. That means कि it is clear that कि one time in the future, it may be there will be no water, isn't it? That means कि if a family is living, they will get water for 1 month in a year. By 2025, two-thirds of the world's population may be facing water shortage, isn't it? As the global demand for the water increases and as the climate temperature rise, it is estimated that two-thirds of the population will live under the stress in 2025. As water becomes scarce, people cannot get enough water to drink, wash, and other activities. Even today, many states are facing water shortage problem. In the right now, in the few states, we just have experience with few states. That states are facing a scarcity of water. So we have to make our students to understand the principle of 3 R's. 3 R's means reuse, reduce, and recycle of water. For what? To maintain, to restore the scarcity of water. Now, the water of the water produced in the kitchen sink, bathtub, showers, washing machine, or dishwashers. Wastewater generated from the household, offices, and buildings are called grey water. That are the grey water, excluding some fecal materials. Excluding fecal materials, we have to reuse the such water that are coming from the bathtubs or the kitchen sinks or the washing machines also. Listen, my next slide is what is grey water. Just I am just reaching on my topic, that is grey water. What is grey water? Grey water. What is grey water? Grey water actually the clean wastewater that is grey in color due to the mixing of some waste materials like detergent, soap, and many more materials that are coming from our bathrooms, kitchen, washing machine, and washing clothes. All these are called the gray water because it's normally its color looks like gray. Gray water refers to domestic wastewater generated in the households or office buildings from streams without fecal matter, because fecal contamination, isn't it? Without fecal contamination. That means all streams except for the wastewater from toilets. Sources of gray water includes sinks, showers, bath, washing machine, or dishwashers, isn't it? This is the gray water. It simply looks like gray color. That's why the name is given as a gray water. Gray water is actually the wastewater. Now the sources of gray water. Sources of gray water. Gray water, also spelled as a gray water, is water that already has been used domestically, commercially, and industrially. This includes the leftover untreated water generated from clothes, washers, bathtubs, bathrooms, sink. This water sources is a common way to recycle water and stretch urban water supply, isn't it? Lots of gray water is generated by bathing and the washing clothes. Sometimes we observe that people or the sometimes children at home let the shower running for 30 minutes or even 1 hour. They are enjoying bathing. They do not think about what will be the result tomorrow. So this is our duty to make them understand or aware of tomorrow's results of the scarcity of water, isn't it? So it's the first step to take to conserve the fresh water, to first educate our students, youth, and the children. You know, what is the gray water management? What is gray water management? Means how we manage gray water. How do we manage gray water? Gray water management is actually handling wastewater. Gray water management is it handling wastewater to protect environment. Wastewater must be clean enough so that it can be used by people for various purposes and also allow children to manage such water. In this way, they will learn skills to manage grey water and making environment clean and also conserving waste. So we say children are the future of the nation. Then why do we not educate them to restore natural resources? We must educate and make them concerned for the nature and the natural resources. Actually, according to NEP, National Policy of India 2020, students are vital organs of nation. They are future citizens who become nation's most needed category. Youth are expected to advance the current technology, education, politics of the country. On the other hand, youth have also to maintain the culture, all good values in the society, development of projects, and also conserve the biodiversity along with the natural resources. Young people have ideas, the creativity, and the great energy to shape the better world. We can undoubtedly say that today's young are tomorrow's innovators, creators, builders, and the leaders. But they need required support in terms of good health and opportunities, skills to transform the future. Yes, just see this slide. See this slide. Simple grey water system. This picture is showing water is generated from the bathroom and the kitchen sink and the washing machine. This grey water is used by the plant. That grey water is used for the irrigating plant. In this way, we can conserve fresh water. In place of fresh water, we have to use this grey water for irrigating plant. And whatever the amount is used to irrigate the plant, suppose ki one bucket is used, fresh water is used to irrigate the plant. In place of fresh water, we can use the grey water for irrigating plant. In this way, we can conserve, we can manage grey water, and we can save fresh water. In the world where fresh water or the clean water is becoming a more and more valuable commodity, people are reconsidering their choice to send so much of it into the sewers. Each day, grey water systems are one approach to help solve this issue. And whatever the water is just going to wastage, one way to conserve the fresh water by treating grey water. About 50 to 80% of grey water is collected from reuse. For reuse, toilet flushing, irrigation, and other uses do not require fresh water or potable water for irrigating our garden and the plants. We must use the grey water that are generated by ourselves in the bathroom, isn't it? Now just see a video. I am just going to see you a video. This video just about the conservation of water and making our environment fresh, and how the water is managed, how the grey water is used, and how this grey water is creating problem.
Our village is much. In every house, a water connection is there. But some police much is still not anywhere. 49 years, water flows out from the kitchen and bath, spills onto the road and pollutes the pond. The drains are open, choked with plastic and waste. The water overflows, fills us with mistakes. These pools of stagnant water are prone to insects and flies. Many diseases arise. Look, see, there is stagnant rainwater everywhere. So the toilet goes dry. And water does dry. But limited fresh water comes to my tap. So my water priorities are must track. Let's together find solutions to this problem we face to make our lives better, more healthy, and safe. The first step to take is a nutritious goals, so that fresh water requirements we can reduce. Then, rainwater management we must learn. Water flows important. What is rainwater? What can we do? It's wastewater we can reuse. It has no nutrient. This wastewater comes from engines, washing, and baths. It can be treated and treated plants, washing my rice, and cleaning the loop for industrial purposes. It's useful too. See what rainwater we use, the options are large. And very important, this is large. Make your choice of technology, let it suit your needs. As long as 3 hours of water conservation you do need, and solution will be found to our rainwater flow. For each house, a small matka soap is can take a few hundred. At the community level, the options expand. From community of magic pits to constructed wetlands. We have done what was needed. The standard water rules are gone.
Recording
They have
है.
solved our water problem. Our
Recording.
They have withdrawn.
Recording
My
नहीं बेटा.
story is good. Our village now is our pride. Since we follow great water management as our guide. Our village is smart.
Now, there is a principle of grey water management, that is 3 R's. 3 R's means use of grey water, reduce grey water, reuse and recycle. 3 R's. R's for reduce, reuse and recycle. So, because why we just using principles of using grey water management? Reducing means whenever the waste water is coming, waste water coming from our households or the factories or the industrial, that must be reduced. Reduce means we have to use fresh water judiciously. Judiciously use of fresh water, which will result in generation of the minimum quantity of grey water. Next 3 R's are reuse. Whenever the grey water is produced or generated from our houses, we must reuse that grey water for flushing and the vehicles washing and for the gardening also, and some other activities also. Third point, 3 R's are recycle. Third point, recycle. Water from the variety of sources, then treats and reuse it for beneficial purposes such as agriculture and the irrigation, groundwater replacement, industrial processes. So we must follow we must follow the rules of 3 Rs: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Now come to the next point, that is the pollutants are in grey water. What are the pollutants? This must understood, and we must make our student understood okay, whatever the pollutants, what are the chemicals present in the grey water and how they affect the health of the plants as well as animals and the human beings. Those, so they should know about the pollutants present in the grey water, so they will use this water frequently. So there are the pollutants present in the grey water, that is the heavy toxic metals, that is lead, nickel, cadmium, copper, mercury, chromium. These toxic metals concentration in grey water is harmful. As we know, this is very harmful for our body. The presence of these contaminants in grey water is an indication of the gradual increase in the level of complexity in the composition of grey water, as all these heavy metals are very harmful for the human body and as well as for the plant's body also. Presence of mercury in its composition affect the central nervous system. You know, we have to make our students understand what is the role of mercury present in the grey water, what is the bad effect of this mercury on the human body or on the plants. Presence of mercury can affect or damage our central nervous system, liver, kidney, and can disturb the immune system also. So the mercury is very harmful. So a student must know the composition of the grey water. Now next heavy toxic metals are cadmium. This cadmium can cause severe damages to the lungs and the respiratory irritation. Cadmium can damage our lungs and disturb in the respiration. Next, heavy toxic metals are chromium compound. These compounds can cause dermatitis, the dermal skin problem, and allergic eczematous and skin reaction, and the mucous membrane ulceration. You know, cadmium are the very harmful, very dangerous heavy toxic metal present in the grey water that can cause eczematous and the skin cancer, skin reaction, and the mucous membrane ulceration also. So student must know the composition of the grey water, because this grey water can harm the human body or as well as the plant's body also. So this contaminated water must be used carefully. In the human body, these heavy metals are transported and compartmentalized into the body cells. You know, whenever by mistake, some poor people using this polluted water, then what happened to their body? The human body may consume the heavy metal having water transported and compartmentalized into the body cells and the tissue binding to the proteins nucleic acid, now destroying these macronucleus molecules and disturbing their cellular function. Thus, heavy toxic metals can have several consequences in the human body. Whenever this grey water is used for the plants, so it must be keep in the mind some edible part cannot be touched with this toxic grey water, isn't it? So we must student must know what is the composition of the grey water and what are the contaminants, what are the composition contamination present in the grey water. बंद करो, लिख Thank you. Sharing. तो बात करो, तो बात अनम्यूट करो. हेलो हेलो. थैंक यू. हेलो.
यस मैम आवाज आ रही है.
Yes, yes. Yes, time is according to, this is 3 o'clock. And I will just break the meeting right now. I'm just joining once again, ma'am. Just wait for a few minutes. I'm just again joining.